Have you ever noticed how some women can steer a relationship without ever raising their voice or demanding anything outright? It's not magic, it's psychology. From subtle emotional cues to silent power plays, women often use hidden tactics that most men never catch until it's too late. These aren't obvious moves. They're small, calculated tricks that influence how you think, react, and even doubt yourself, all while making it seem like you're the one in control. In this video, we'll uncover the 10 psychological tricks women use to gain power without you realizing it. Once you see them, you'll never look at relationships the same way again. Watch until the end because understanding these tactics isn't just about protection, it's about awareness. And if you're serious about mastering dark psychology and understanding women on a deeper level, subscribe now. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Using silence to gain the upper hand. One of the most subtle but powerful tricks women use is silence. It might look like withdrawal, ignoring a message, or going quiet in the middle of a conversation, but it's rarely accidental. Silence creates tension, and tension creates control. When someone goes silent, your brain fills in the gaps, often with worry, guilt, or a need to fix the situation. That's when you start over-explaining, apologizing, or chasing the reaction they wanted. Psychologically, silence works because it shifts the balance of power. Instead of both sides being equal in the conversation, you suddenly feel like you have to do more to win their attention back. The less they say, the more you lean in. And the truth is, silence is rarely just silence. It's a calculated way to get you to reveal more, give more, or bend more. Once you recognize it, you stop chasing the silence and start seeing the control behind it. Emotional guilt as leverage. Another hidden psychological trick women often use is guilt. It doesn't always come in the form of direct accusations. Sometimes it's subtle comments like, "I thought you'd want to spend more time with me," or a disappointed look when you set a boundary. That small dose of guilt is designed to make you question your choices and feel like you've done something wrong even when you haven't. Psychologically, guilt is powerful because it taps into your natural desire to make things right. Most men instantly feel pressure to fix the situation, whether that means apologizing, giving in, or sacrificing their own needs to restore harmony. Over time, this trick can condition you to respond by putting their feelings above your own, even when it leaves you drained. Recognizing this tactic is key because once you see guilt for what it is, manipulation, not communication, you stop giving away your power so easily. Shifting standards to keep you off balance. One of the most effective tricks women can use in relationships is constantly shifting the standards of what they expect from you. At first, something you do might be enough, your effort, your time, or even the way you show affection. But soon, the standard changes. What once earned you praise suddenly isn't enough anymore. This constant moving of the goalposts leaves you chasing validation that never really comes. Psychologically, this tactic works because it taps into uncertainty. Humans crave stability, and when expectations keep changing, you start putting in more effort, hoping to finally meet the real standard. But in reality, the rules aren't supposed to be consistent because the inconsistency itself is what creates control. By keeping you unsure of where you stand, they keep you focused on trying harder, and the more you chase approval that keeps slipping away, the more power you give up without realizing it. Using compliments as currency. Compliments are not always as innocent as they seem. A woman who wants control can use praise like a form of currency, giving it when you act in ways that benefit her and withholding it when you don't. At first, it feels good, you feel valued and seen, but over time, you start noticing that her compliments only come when you behave in a way that aligns with her expectations. Suddenly, you're not just being yourself, you're adjusting your actions to keep earning that approval. Logically, this tactic is powerful because it taps into the human reward system. Our brains are wired to seek positive reinforcement, and when compliments are given selectively, they become addictive. You start chasing the next dose of validation without realizing you're being conditioned. It's not about genuine appreciation, it's about control. And once you understand that praise can be a tool of manipulation, you stop performing for approval and start recognizing when it's being used as leverage against you. Playing the victim to gain sympathy. Another silent but effective manipulation tactic is playing the victim. Instead of confronting issues directly, a woman may frame herself as the one who's always hurt, misunderstood, or mistreated. This shifts the focus away from her actions and puts the burden on you to comfort, fix, or make sacrifices. Suddenly, you're the one apologizing, even when you weren't the one at fault. Psychologically, this works because most men are wired to protect and provide. When you see someone you care about suffering, even if that suffering is exaggerated or manufactured, your natural instinct is to step in and ease their pain. But this compassion is exactly what gets used against you. By constantly presenting herself as the victim, she not only avoids responsibility, but also gains leverage. You're too busy defending her feelings to notice how she's controlling the entire dynamic, using jealousy to keep you competing. One of the oldest but most effective tricks is jealousy. A woman may casually mention another man's attention, compare you to someone else, or even highlight how others treat her better. On the surface, it might seem innocent, but the psychological effect is calculated. It triggers your competitive instincts. You feel the need to prove your worth, show more effort, or work harder to keep her focus on you. Psychologically, jealousy works because it taps into fear of loss. When you think someone else might take your place, you naturally push yourself to do more to secure the relationship. But here's the catch. If she's deliberately planting these seeds, it's not about appreciation, it's about control. The more you compete, the more you hand over power, because you're reacting to her narrative instead of acting from your own strength. Recognizing this tactic allows you to step back and see it for what it is: manipulation designed to keep you chasing, creating confusion through mixed signals. One of the most frustrating yet effective tricks is sending mixed signals. One moment she showers you with attention, affection, and warmth. The next, she pulls back, goes distant, or acts cold. This push and pull dynamic keeps you constantly guessing where you stand, and that confusion is exactly the point. By keeping things unclear, she controls the pace of the relationship, while you're stuck chasing clarity that never fully comes. Psychologically, mixed signals are powerful because the human brain craves consistency. When someone flips between closeness and distance, your mind focuses more on the uncertainty than the reality. It creates an addictive cycle where the good moments feel like a reward for enduring the cold ones. Over time, this roller coaster can hook you deeper than steady affection ever could. Once you recognize this tactic, you stop obsessing over the highs and lows and start realizing that the confusion itself is the manipulation, withholding intimacy as control. One of the most powerful silent tricks is withholding intimacy, whether that's affection, closeness, or physical connection. Instead of expressing love consistently, a woman can strategically pull back, making you feel like you've done something wrong or that you need to earn it back. This creates a subtle power imbalance because suddenly intimacy feels conditional, not natural. You find yourself working harder, adjusting your behavior, and even compromising your boundaries just to regain what should have been freely given in the first place. Psychologically, this works because intimacy is one of the deepest human needs. When it's withheld, it creates anxiety and craving, which can make you far more compliant and vulnerable to control. Over time, this tactic teaches you to tie your sense of security to her approval, leaving you dependent on whether she gives or withholds that connection. But once you recognize the pattern, you can step out of the cycle. Because true intimacy isn't supposed to be a bargaining chip, it's supposed to be mutual. Now you know the hidden psychological tricks women use: silence, guilt, jealousy, shifting standards, and even withholding intimacy. Once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. The power shifts the moment you stop reacting blindly and start recognizing what's really happening. Control only works when it stays invisible. And now you've pulled back the curtain. If this opened your eyes, make sure you subscribe for more videos on dark psychology, relationships, and hidden power dynamics. And I want to hear from you. Which of these tricks do you think is the hardest to spot in real time? Drop your thoughts in the comments because your experience might help someone else avoid falling into the same trap.